Happy Friday, everyone. It's been a manic week, so I certainly hope that you have had a good week, and I'm just glad it is Friday. Getting started a little bit late here, but no big deal. We're going to roll here. Okay, so I got a question here that was sent to me early this morning, and it asks, hey, Bryan, every time I go to the vet, my dog always wants to sit in my lap. All the time. It's always in my lap. How do I teach my dog to sit on the floor instead of on my lap? Okay, so in answering that question, I'm going to kind of go over a few things. Number one, easiest path. I always like to keep it simple, stupid rule. The easiest path to victory. Always pick your battles. Pick battles big enough to matter, small enough to win. So I've got a little experience with this because I owned a vet hospital for many years. And we'd have clients all the time saying, I want to desensitize my dog to coming to the vet hospital. I want my dog to be more comfortable coming here. I don't want it to be a fearful experience for my dog. You know, I get that. But then I turn around and ask them, well, how often do you come here? Because according to your records, you only come about once a year. Sometimes even about only once every 14, 15 months. So that being said, anything that you do just one time may not work as far as desensitizing your dog or habituating your dog to the vet hospital if you only do it one time. So that being said, for me, these dogs that were very fearful, if they had a reaction to the vet hospital, we would do what we could to cause them to chill out. And sometimes that was just the use of some medications that would just lower their anxiety, lower their stress response, make the experience as quick and as painless as possible. So again, always pick your battles, because sometimes the vet hospital just isn't worth it. It's only once a year. Don't even deal with it. You have way too many other stressors, typically way too many other things to work on than to worry so much about that. Okay, so a lot of people for years took that advice from me and they did very well with their dogs. But that being said, you asked a question and now you want an answer to it. My dog sits on my lap every time I go to the vet. Okay, so what is the real issue here? What is the real issue? Why is your dog always on your lap? Is the dog afraid to be at the vet hospital, or are you afraid? Are you afraid for your dog, or are you afraid because most dogs don't like going to vet hospitals? They really don't. It's typically a house of horror for most dogs. Nothing on the veterinarians or their hospitals. They're great people. But the experience, again, I only go once, about once a year. I get a shot, something causes me pain. I smell where other dogs have had pain. I can smell anal sac explosions from pain. I can hear dogs crying out. I can smell blood. So all that being said, it's really difficult if you own the vet hospital, because you just can't eradicate all of those senses that your dog has and all the sensations that are flooding into their brain, causing them to be a little bit fearful. I have found that in my experience, most owners are afraid for their dogs. They're worried about how their dogs will react. They usually have some experience, meaning they had a bad visit. The dog went into a very tight examination room and tried to bite the vet or the vet tech, or the dog was very fearful. So now going forward, oh my gosh, that's all you think about. Will my dog bite the vet? Will my dog bite the vet tech? Will my dog be extremely fearful? You're really worried about it. You're embarrassed. You're fearful about it. It's just bad. So you're really stressed. And then some owners are worried about what's on the floor. Don't sick dogs come to vet hospitals? Well, my dog's just coming in for a routine examination and my yearly vaccinations. I don't want my dog on this floor. I don't want my dog touching other dogs that could be sick. So that being said, there's a whole bunch of owner fears, and a lot of these are grounded. They are. Vet hospitals don't have time to come in there right after every single dog that walks into the lobby to clean up after it. Dogs are afraid for many reasons. Like I already told you, they think it's a house of horrors, or they're feeding off of your fear. So in other words, I was kind of calm. Yeah, this is a pretty cool place you got here. However, what the heck's going on with you? Why are you so afraid? Oh, wait a minute, where did we just come? What is this place? Holy moly. So you can make things far worse if you're afraid. It's always, in the vast majority of cases, it is the owner's issue. It's some issue that they have with their dog being at the vet. Again, previous bad experience, or they're just more protective of their animals. But all that being said, what can we do to mitigate that fear? What can we do? Number one, ask for an appointment during the least busy time. You don't have to go during the rush hour. You can go during the least busy time. And these people that work at the vet hospital should be able to tell you when that time is. So if you go in there, you're less likely to encounter another person with their dog. And also, you should be able to be seen very quickly. Just do me a favor. Many veterinary hospitals nowadays offer ancillary services like daycare. Holy moly. You may have the first appointment of the day, first thing at 7 o'clock in the morning, but in comes 50 million dogs while you're there. They're all being dropped off for daycare. So make sure if they do have daycare, pick an appointment outside of that rush hour time for daycare, or see if they have a separate waiting room or a separate entrance. Talk to them about it. They'll be glad to talk to you. Make sure you avoid that. If you can't avoid it, then at least pick a good spot in the waiting room. Don't be polite. I mean, grab a chair, move their waiting room furniture if you can, or take the one furthest in the corner. And if people come in with their dogs on retractable leashes and go, "Oh, can my dog see your dog?" Say no. Say, "No, you can be nice about it, but nevertheless, don't let the message get lost. Don't let it get lost. No, please. My dog's sick. That sounds very contagious." You can just come up with all sorts of reasons. But again, just kind of make them stay away. And a lot of that will be done if you simply pick the old isolated spot, the furthest spot away from all the action, away from the counter and everything else. Okay, also nowadays, you probably found out with what's going on around the world, you can wait in your car. You can also do that. Tell the vet hospital, "My dog doesn't do well in the waiting room. Would it be okay if I let you know when I'm here? I'll call you. And then you call me or send me a text when you're ready right then to see my dog, and I'll come straight in and go right back to exam room." Let me tell you, that is something that we practiced at my vet hospital long before COVID came out. Long before then. We appreciated that. And all the other clients that are visiting the hospital, they really, really appreciated that. So ask about it. There's no need to go in, keep the AC running. You're out there with your dog. Watch your dog, and then when they call you, lock it up, take your dog in, and go straight back to exam room. Again, keep the time there very short. You don't need to be there all day long. Be there for a minimal amount of time. Get the job done, then get the heck out of there. All right. Now, all that being said, these are just things where if you're taking your dog to the vet and you just got to go there and you just had this bad experience in the past, or your dog has, and you just want to minimize the experience. You want to mitigate all that fear. Now, let's just get right on down to training. Okay, first of all, if you want your dog to sit on the floor or stay on the floor, I would recommend bring a mat. Bring a mat. So that means you need to train your dog to sit comfortably or lie down and do a sit stay or down stay on a mat. And that training needs to be done away from the vet hospital. Get the dog very good at doing this. Take your training to that level to where if you tell your dog to lay on this mat or sit on this mat, they're not getting off that mat to save their lives. It's like a modified version of place, except you're just right there with them, right there. You're not leaving the area. Get on your mat, sit her down, don't leave it. Train that like an instinct, because at some point when training evolves, it becomes under what conditions will you do it? And make sure the dog already knows what's expected of it before you take it back in to that very scary place and now ask the dog to do it. So that being said, if it's not, I make sure that you take the dog there, go train it there when you don't have appointments. So you've already trained it at home. Now take it to the vet hospital, ask in advance, may I bring my dog there and practice? Again, they will appreciate that. But you won't be so worried because you know it's not a real visit. So bring the dog in, get comfortable, watch what your dog does, train your dog to do well. And by doing that, you will gain confidence, and then you will be calmer. Yeah, you can't fake it, baby. You got to train the dog. You got to know it. You're in it to win it. So get in there, go practice away from the vet hospital, then go practice at the vet hospital. And when the day comes when your dog really, really needs to see the vet, no more sitting on my lap. You can just park it right there on that nice, clean mat that I brought from home and that I can pick up and carry with me into that exam room. Okay? This is an easy thing to get done. This is not a hard thing. Train, be confident, be calm. You're in good hands when you go there. Use these strategies. I wrote them here on the board. Take a screenshot of it. And I promise you, we did this for many years at our vet hospital. We had a lot of success with all of these little strategies that I gave you today. Okay, that's it, guys. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and I guarantee it's 5 o'clock here. It's been a long week. I'm ready to go take a break. I'm sure you're ready to take a break. Do me a favor. If you found this information beneficial and you know someone else that could use it, please share it with them. And if you have any questions of your own, there are no stupid questions, send them to me. I'm going to cover them for you. Make sure I answer them the best I can. All right, guys, I'll check in with you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening.